probably sometime tomorrow, this will all slide. And holy cow, that is a little thing. So this is our last heifer. Yeah, we lost. There was a casualty. Hey, welcome back to Ohrmundt Simmentals. All right, it is a new week, and we are in a winter wonderland again. But we do need to bring a stock bale in to the barn because it needs it. And I'm still wondering when this 301 heifer is going to calve. It's like she's hanging onto that calf like a souvenir. 313 kind of seems to be doing the same thing. Dad asked me today when she was due, and I said, well, actually she was due 3 weeks ago, which that means, obviously she's not having the high life that we bred her to. But her bag and her back end say, let's go. I had told Dad what we should do is take those two calves in the back and bring them forward so that they can come outside and be with the other two calves. And then 313 could go in the far back. That frees up the green gate pen if we have somebody else that calves. But then that lets those other calves, they get that chance to get outside, get some fresh air. So we brought a bale out for the cows in the loafing shed area, but now the cows are kind of tapped out for decent places to lay. So Dad brought back a hay bale. We'll spread that out in this area. Yeah, it's gonna get a little wet when this finally all melts, and probably sometime tomorrow this will all slide. So there's not a huge amount on there. It's like 2 or 3 inches, 3-4 inches. But these guys actually don't spend, when it's nice out like today, they weren't spending too much time in here, and this is still really looking good. Probably because they don't spend a lot of time in here, even though it's a really decent place to lay. But they go in here when it's not nice out. I was watching them last night on the camera. There wasn't anybody out there. And you got this dude. He is getting thick. They get a little wet when they come out because it's a little muddy right here from them going back and forth. But other than that, it's really, really nice in here. You always got to say hi to Photo when you come out here. Right, Photo? Right, kiddo? Yeah? Yeah, I know. We brought you bedding. We brought you a fresh hay bale to bed on. Kiddos are definitely liking it. Not all of them are solid color. I think this is how I'm going to be able to get a DNA sample from this guy. Alright, I know the cows are going to eat like half of this, but they'll spread the rest of it out and it'll turn out to be good bedding. There we go, buddy. That is the kind of calf I was hoping for out of Cher. It is similar to the Sensation bull she had 2 years ago. This Dominion he is coming on. I was really kind of hoping for a heifer, but that's all right. I just want one good pulled heifer out of a fleck. That's it, just one. All right, buddy? We maybe should have kept you just like your brother. So he's a half brother, same mom to the 431 bull we got right now. So maybe should have kept him as a bull, but I'm all right with the two we got. Well, Cora May is definitely happy. So here's a question for anybody else that's doing Simmentals and breeding AI. We got our Select Sires catalog the other day. Yes, we've done a lot through Gen X, and I love Gen X, but I'm always looking around for different bulls and all that good stuff. Anybody else that's used Moneymaker, I know he's a little bit young, but how are his bulls turning out? And more so, how are the heifers turning out? I'm assuming that there probably aren't any heifers in production yet. I would think probably next year they probably will be, because I think he is that young. I think he's only, is he gonna be 3 this year? I'd have to double check. But if you've used them, how do you like them? How do you like his calves? Let me know in the comments. I'd like the input. There are 2 keys to a bull's heart: cows and feed. Because the whole entire time Dad broke up that bale, these guys didn't move a muscle, except for their head, obviously. But those feet, they stayed right there. So, you guys behave yourself so good. Yeah, they're turning out pretty good. The Eagle and the Bruno son are still the biggest guys. This mic drop is starting to come on. He was out of a first calf. All right, that was a blast. So we got the stock bale in. This was not one of the better bales. This was definitely a one that had a little bit of mold in it. Right here, when you roll the shell off, I mean, I probably had a foot of stock. So it was nice because I was able to get some in there for the calves. So there's a nice covering in there. And then I had to throw it more that way to just spread it out, and then all the way into the back where 313 is. I think I might have pointed him out in a previous video. So here's Moneymaker, and then I don't know how well that'll focus in, but maybe I'll throw a picture in there for his stats. I mean, I'm not here to chase numbers. I'm just saying he's a stat monster. I mean, calving ease 25, birth weight -6, weaning weight 115, yearling weight 176, maternal calving ease 13.9, milk 32, maternal weaning weight 89.5. Let's see here. Like, oh my God, he's closer to average than 1%, than top 1% for stay. Docility, yeah. Even the beef traits are still really good. And then API 201, terminal 122. So yeah, he is kind of a stat. That's just my terminology, is a stat monster. Hey, how's it going? All right, it is Tuesday afternoon. And holy cow, that is a little thing. So this is our last heifer, and that is a factor calf. So that is a little, it is a heifer, but that is a little thing. That's like a 60-pound calf right there. And she had it. She had to work at it a little bit. For whatever reason, she really didn't get real. You know how their back ends will get kind of loose and swollen and floppy to get ready to let that calf come on through. She never really got like that. I'm not really sure why. She got it. No problems. Good spunky calf. No complaints. She's up. She's up more than Mom is. Another completely solid black calf. All right, let's go start running water for the bulls. Actually, I think I got to put my dog back in the kennel. Hey, Bubba. When we come out in the morning, if he goes to the bathroom, he'll come and he'll sit right on the pad, and he'll wait for me to come out of the barn. And then we make our trek behind the garage, and we do the check of the cows outside. So he's pretty good. And if he gets cold and he's been sitting outside too long, he lets me know. And everybody's still really enjoying the bedding we put out yesterday. You know, guys like that. But stuff is definitely melting today. Not a whole lot of complaints out of Factor, out of a heifer. 60-pound calf. You know, so if it was a bull, at worst, probably maybe 70 pounds. It's not a whole lot super eventful for today, but you know, a nice new heifer calf. It's been a few days since we had a calf. Hey, how's it going? All right, Wednesday afternoon. Just checking on our calf from yesterday. And I think 301's gonna win Attentive Mom of the Year award. I swear, you make a move around here, she makes a little, she does that. You know, that calf makes a move, like turns a corner and goes too far, she does it. She does the same thing. She is talking to that thing like 24/7, and it's almost kind of annoying. And that kid's going to have a midlife crisis in like a month. But she's doing really good. And not sure. I don't think we need bedding tonight, but probably by tomorrow we'll need some more bedding. All right, so it's been a fun half an hour playing in the mud. We actually put 2 pairs out by the loafing shed. Honestly, because we're just running out of space. But then we did bring in FH75 and then also Goggle Gergs. She looks a little bit further out, but she's one of those cows, just the way her bag is put together, that I think she's one that could all of a sudden calve and, you know, just you'd be like, whoa, I didn't think that was going to happen. One from yesterday, she's doing really good. This heifer, though, it was really cool yesterday. You know that she's probably going to be a pretty decent milking heifer. She's got a nice bag, but like yesterday, one of her back teats, one of her back quarters was actually dripping milk. And she would like walk around, and if she moved just right, she squeezed her bag a little bit, and she actually was shooting a couple squirts out. So she definitely has the groceries for this kiddo, which is good because she's a little small. Hey, how's it going? All right, Thursday afternoon, and it's been a busy, I'll say a busy day. We had 313 calved last night, about 9 o'clock. Actually, like a 9:30. DJ 301 calved about 2 hours ago. And so this dude is like 15 minutes old, 10 minutes old. Mom has given him a thorough soaking. That is a big dude. That's a husky fella. So I'd have to look up what her last calf was. I don't remember offhand. Oh, and he's starting to get up. And it looks like he's got a little bit of leg, so he's got a little further to go. But we got DJ's calf. There's Chrome there too, finally. That is an all-white head with perfect goggles. Goggles are the rings around the eye. And she is going to town. And then last night, 313 had this guy. Solid black bull calf. So all 3 of these calves are all Factors. So this is a Factor, and Mom is a Cowboy Cut. And that is her second calf. He's been doing really well. He was doing good this morning. All right. Apparently somebody else had a calf as well. We always get one that has it out by the feeder. And this year, it was Deja. I do want one pulled fleck heifer. This might be it. Hey, Deja. She had it right up on top of the mound here. What do we got, kiddo? That is a heifer. That's the reason we bought Factor. Because now that's a heifer that I can keep. So now we just have to deal with her, and we're not sure how yet. So yeah, it's been a real busy day. All right, we got her into the short chute. Calf is up, she's mobile. She's probably 82, 83 pounds, something like that. It is a heifer. That's one thing I've liked about Deja, is she definitely is a moderate calver. All right, it is getting a little hectic this afternoon. Oh, it's over there. So we just weighed and tagged 313 and 301. So this bull calf was only 85 pounds, and then that little heifer, 301 heifer, was 67. So we're actually going to keep this 313 as a bull, and we'll ban one of the other ones from the other day. We have to, everybody else got cycled back, because now we got to try and figure out how we're going to get Deja in here. And then we need to get Helga, because she's kind of hanging out by herself, and her bag is big. Okay, we're going to start in the back of the barn and give you a full update of where we stand. All right, so like I said, we got these two guys weighed and tagged. So they're back here, and these two better coexist. 313 wasn't crazy about 301. No issues with the calves, just the mom. Then DJ 301, she's got her factor calf. Check out that chrome. We got chrome, people. Chrome! With some awesome goggles. And of course, she's following after her ma and turned into a little bit of a pistol, but she's workable. She is our first cowboy cut daughter. So she's at least been doing decent. And then we got Goggle Gergs here with her big old bruiser. It's been taking him a little bit to get going, but oh my gosh, he's got to be 115, maybe 120. He's a big dude. He is definitely a big dude. So sometimes you get those bigger calves, maybe it was a little bit longer birth, or he was a little stressed out. It might take him a little bit. He's already been up, and I think he actually got on a little bit, but he has been up. But I think we just, all the commotion, moving everything around, he's kind of in chill mode. So he has been up, and I think he just hit his head trying to get up. But he has been up, and I think he was on mom. She has got an enormous bag, and she's a really nice mom. She is, so she's from Paul Gergen out of I would say, yeah, just south of the cities, eastern Minnesota. And she is all like Brinks genetics. Paul did switch over and started buying bulls from Stanley the last few years. But I know Paul had stuff for sale last year. If they're for sale, you're in Minnesota and you need some solid genetics, you can get animals like Goggle Gergs and Whitey Gergs. He's got some decent stuff. So that's Paul Gergen in Minnesota, East Central Minnesota. I'll spit it out one of these days. And then we did get Deja in, and that's her little girl. So she's hanging out in that corner. She found it all on her own. She was a real trooper. It would have been such a pistol to try and even put her in a sled and try and slop her through a couple of those spots. But she walked in on her own with a little encouragement. And then we did get Helga in. So we have two out here that need to calve. That's FH75 and Helga, which unfortunately they're just going to have to calve outside. We don't have a spot for them right now. There he is. There's a lot of leg there, so you know, it takes a guy like him. It takes a guy like that a couple extra minutes to get up, but he's up. He might be stumbling a little bit, but he is up. So he would not be kept as a bull. He's too big. Oh yeah, he's moving around really good. And then I did also check him. He does have horns, so they could potentially be skurs, but if you can feel them right now, they're most likely horns. And so we'll have to make sure we clip them and paste them and take care of them. So we are actually waiting for a load of corn stalks. The guy's bringing 14 stalk bales tonight. I think he's supposed to be around 6. All right, it's a little dark now. Just got our stalk bales unloaded. The guy got a flat, so he's a little bit late. And then Helga has actually started calving. But I think with all the commotion, she's kind of gotten slowed down. Probably getting close to us wanting to help her, but we're going to give her like an hour just because of everything going on. And then we'll get in there and help her out. So I'm going to go get something to eat. Hey, how's it going? Happy Friday. All right, I have no idea where we left off last night. I think it was, we just got done with our cornstalk bales. The guy was what was it, about 7:45 when he left. He was a little late, had a flat tire, but nice guy, came from the Stratford area, so it's just under a half hour for him. We got 14. They are very, very tight. And he said they were tight. I think he said he's got a crop cutter on his New Holland baler. So he said they're cut with just a rotary cutter, and then he said however they're cut with that. So we'll see how they are. We're probably going to try one out, bed these calves down. Tonight we're going to do 2 bales in the back in the loafing shed, 1 in the actual feeder, and then we're going to spread 1 out for bedding because those guys need a rebedding too. But we had the fury of calves yesterday. So yesterday was apparently fleck day on the farm, because we had Goggle Gergs had her bull calf. Deja had her heifer calf out by the bale feeder. And then last night, Helga had a bull calf. She calved outside. We let them stay outside overnight. But when I came out this morning, I could actually see some lightning off in the distance, like very faint cloud lightning. And I knew there was supposed to be some rain this morning, which it didn't. Thankfully, it snuck below us. So I put her in here with Deja. That was an absolute crap show, and partially because of FH75. She is not a mean cow, but she is literally a bull in a china shop. Because I put some grain on the ground, on the floor in here for Deja to kind of keep her occupied while I got Helga in. And I'm opening the gate, pushing the calf. Helga is right there, and 75 comes plowing in. Doesn't have no regard for the calf or the cow. Just blasts her way through. We lost one of our 5-gallon feed buckets in the process, because there was some aggressive discussion between me and little old 75 there. So yeah, we lost. There was a casualty. 5-gallon bucket lost its life. But we have a nice red Tractor Supply bucket to replace it. Everybody's fed. We're just doing water inside the barn. Kind of funny, kind of gross, but I was switching over to fill up this red barrel for 301. And I looked over, I'm like, what is in that barrel? Well, here she had like 8 inches of water, but she actually had some of her afterbirth in there. So that was pretty gross. I did not see that this morning. It was not like that this morning. So we cleaned that out, and we're getting her some fresh stuff. nice little fleck day yesterday, and then getting those 3 calves, and everybody seems to be doing good. And it looks like it might be a couple of days till we have our next calf. I did give some scour tablets to one of the guys here north of the border. He's got a little bit of the schlitties, and he seemed a little droopy, so we pilled him. I think he'll be okay. It's just the weather it does eat at these guys, especially when they're a little younger. Everybody in the loafing shed area looks really good. They're healthy, running around. We bedded them really nice. We took 2 hay bales back, 1 for the feeder and 1 spread out for bedding. Hope you guys liked the video. Hit that thumbs up as always. And of course, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments right down here. And then in like the corner or just below, hit that subscribe button, follow along for more. Definitely supports the channel. And of course, thanks for coming along.